The tables are turning, the blessings are coming, and it is beautiful to see. I want to talk about how to become and being emotionally intelligent after narcissistic abuse. The best way that I can do this at this time is to relay some of my own experiences and lessons that I learned along the way. The first one is that whenever anyone insists on superiority in a relationship, there's going to be trouble in that relationship. And the relationship likely isn't going to thrive. Now, of course, someone needs to make a decision. At the end of the day, someone needs to make a decision. Especially like if you have a family or something, for example, and the child is wanting to like pursue a sport or music, and then you may not have the income for both music and sports, so there's going to be a choice that you have to make. And although you would want the child to be able to pursue music and the sport, one of the parents has to make a decision, and likely it's going to be the person that is bringing in the most money, given the fact that that person's earning the money. Now, of course, the relationship is a team. At least that's the way that it's supposed to work. And the narcissist doesn't know about that. They forgot about that part. They didn't get that memo. But but the point is that someone needs to make a decision, and someone needs to concede to that decision. Now, of course, there can be input and collaboration, but that does not mean that the input and collaboration is final by any means whatsoever. So it can be very challenging sometimes when things come up in relationships where someone needs to make a decision, but nobody wants to concede, depending on the type of situation that it is. The thing that I think any highly emotional, intelligent person would do is to understand that there's a stoicness of controlling one's own thoughts and one's own emotions, and to not act out or not behave based on your emotional response, but rather a rational response. This does not mean don't feel your emotions. This simply means seeing your emotions for what they are, addressing the situation as it is, and using the tools that you have necessary and available to conduct a civility and a civil discourse within the situation. You think about your feelings and you assertively talk about your feelings rather than hiding away. And anytime you're around a narcissist, you're going to feel uncomfortable expressing emotions. And likely the emotions that you mainly feel around the narcissist are going to be shame, anger, disgust, envy, or jealousy. And you'll notice that if you're an empath, these are not necessarily your emotions. This is another thing that I want to talk about to people, that emotional differentiation is a term that I've coined over my own experiences, is absolutely necessary in any kind of civil discourse where there may be a disagreement or there may be a confrontation of some kind where you need to negotiate. I always recommend negotiation. However, with a narcissist, there is no negotiation. Negotiations don't exist to the narcissist. It's their way or the highway. They think that they need to put your head on straight. And the way to do that is to screw with your memory, insult your intelligence, degrade your humanity, and dehumanize who you are as a person. Managing situations and expressing oneself clearly and authentically is the key to attracting relationships that are not narcissistic. And why that is not just, people can call it the law of attraction all they want. I don't necessarily believe in a law of attraction. I don't know if it exists. I think it's more of a karma, which is essentially the same thing. But I think karma is a much better term than the law of attraction, because your effort that you're putting out into the world, into the universe, is being received. Absolutely. If you will it to. This is really what it comes down to as well, is your will to benefit from hardship. If you don't have the will to benefit from hardship, it's going to be very difficult for you to attract better relationships. And it's going to be very difficult to understand your own emotions. Becoming mature and being mature emotionally is about not running away when things get difficult. I know many times in my life that I had friends that, well, at least I thought were friends, just poof, gone. As soon as things started to actually get difficult, they would just disappear. And this started, for me, I mean, I was probably 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade is when this all started. And I just started to notice that people just didn't give a damn. And people just didn't give a crap about what you were really going through. And I think that's mostly true to this day. A lot of people don't care what you're going through, and a lot of people don't need to care, really. That's the reality. That's life. Your problems are your problems, and you can ask for help, but that's all you can do, is ask for help. And it's up to you to take it up with the source of creation and the Most High. It's not anybody else's job. It's yours. This is about connecting more to your own sense of self and to your own inner wisdom. And a lot of people don't know what that's like, because we're not taught how to do that. We're taught to memorize things. We're taught to regurgitate information. We're taught to, and programmed to, have feelings about certain things. It's a very strange world we live in. But emotionally intelligent people know when to pause. They know when to accept and let go and detach, but not to be so overly detached that they completely miss the mark of what they're here to do. I think there's 3 phrases that anybody can benefit from here on out. And this doesn't necessarily directly correlate with narcissism, but it's excuse me, please, and thank you. These 3 phrases are often mistaken as weakness. but it's a sign of respect and strength of character and kindness. Something that is very absent in today's society for like 80 to 90% of the people, at least in the West, where I'm from. And so I encourage anybody to that's watching this to start using those phrases and notice when other people are using those phrases more. And those are the kinds of people that you're actually going to want to stick to. Now, the narcissist can use some of these phrases as manipulation tactics. And it's important to know, I don't want to say it's not what they said, it's how they said it, but sometimes it's not what they say, it's how they say it. If they say, please, or if they say, please, obviously there's a tonality difference in my voice, right, when I say those things. Or if I say, thank you, or thank you. Very much of a difference as well, right? Excuse me. Excuse me? Obviously, you can see the difference. Sometimes this is meant to just rattle your emotions. This is not. And I'm not saying anybody, like, there are situations where you can be alarmed and say certain things, and we all make mistakes. But those three phrases are missing most in society, from what I can tell. And people are often, in my experience, they are like taken aback when they hear those words sometimes. But that's a sign of self-confidence. It's a sign of dignity, like having oneself to be respected. So, becoming and being emotionally mature involves recognizing the zest of your own life and recognizing the zest in the lives of others. When your soul is lit, and I mean lit with fire, you want to keep going. You want to keep going and keep going and not stop. Because there's no need to anymore. You're always striving. You're always building. You're always creating. You're always doing things that better your life each moment of the day. Whether you're taking an active rest, like intentionally resting from a long, hard day and when you've earned that rest, or you are going really strong and hard at the gym, committing to a higher purpose of physical health, emotional health, spiritual health altogether. This is all one. This is all connected. This body, it's all connected with you, and it starts with you. That's another sign of emotional intelligence, is knowing that it starts with you. And that's a very healthy thing to understand and to reflect on. So with narcissists, be mindful of how they say things and how you're feeling when they say certain things, because they will try to boggle your mind, and they will try to make the situation more chaotic, and they'll dance around the actual topic or situation in the hopes to tire you out enough to the point to where you even forget what you were trying to solve. And that's exactly where they want you, and what they want to do to you is to make you feel confused and off balance, and not in a good way. Because sometimes it's nice to be kept on your toes, right? And I like to keep people on their toes. I like to keep changing. I like to keep growing. I like to keep moving forward with a purpose and a force and a will. And to those that are not on that level, the narcissist usually gets one of two things, or what happens is one of two things with a narcissist when they see this will from me. They get scared or frightened, and they try to, or insecure, and they try to damage my reputation. And the way the narcissist will do this is through public humiliation. But the second thing is, whenever I'm showing that will, they'll completely just back off. And in the Bible, it says that when you resist the devil will flee from you. So, resist the devil, because narcs are spawns of the devil. I truly believe that. I truly believe and genuinely believe that these people that are narcissistic beyond comprehension are spawns of demonic forces and demonically possessed. Demons are very real. Demons are not something to be trifled with. And the way that you can fight off these demons spiritually is through the Word of God, by freeing your own mind, and by trusting that your soul, that your heart, you have the heart of a lion, you have the wisdom of an elephant, and you have the sight of an eagle. With that being said, I hope this message was useful and informative. Until next time, peace be with you.